Failure is not a reflection of our worth, but a catalyst for growth, offering invaluable lessons that shape our journey as leaders and individuals. This idea challenges the deeply ingrained belief that failure diminishes us, marking us as inadequate or incapable. Instead, it invites us to reframe failure as a necessary and transformative part of personal development. By viewing failure as a teacher rather than a verdict, we unlock its potential to guide us toward deeper self-awareness, stronger resilience, and greater success. Failure, by its very nature, disrupts our sense of control and comfort. It forces us to confront our limitations and question our assumptions. In doing so, it becomes a mirror, reflecting back not just what went wrong, but also who we are in the face of adversity. This reflection is invaluable because it reveals gaps in our skills, blind spots in our thinking, and areas where we can grow. Rather than avoiding this discomfort, we can choose to embrace it, recognizing that it is in these moments of vulnerability and uncertainty that we learn the most about ourselves. One of the most powerful aspects of failure is its ability to foster humility. When we succeed, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we have all the answers. Failure, on the other hand, reminds us that we are fallible and that there is always more to learn. This humility is not a sign of weakness. It is a strength that opens the door to growth. It allows us to approach challenges with curiosity and a willingness to adapt, rather than clinging to rigid ideas or defensiveness. In this way, failure helps us to become more open-minded and receptive to new perspectives. The lessons failure teaches us often go beyond technical skills or specific outcomes. They touch on deeper, more universal truths about perseverance, grit, and the human spirit. Failure tests our resolve and pushes us to dig deeper than we thought possible. It shows us the importance of staying committed to our goals, even when the path is difficult or unclear. These lessons are not just applicable in moments of failure. They become a part of who we are, shaping how we approach challenges and opportunities in the future. Failure also provides an opportunity to build resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward. And it is a quality that every leader and individual needs to thrive in an unpredictable world. Resilience is not something we are born with. It is something we develop through experience, particularly through experiences of failure. Each time we fail and get back up, we strengthen our ability to face future challenges with courage and determination. This process is not always easy, but it is essential for long-term growth and success. In addition to building resilience, failure teaches us the importance of adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and rigid approaches often lead to stagnation or irrelevance. Failure forces us to reassess our strategies, reconsider our assumptions, and find new ways to approach problems. This adaptability is a hallmark of effective leaders and individuals who are able to thrive in dynamic and complex environments. By embracing failure as a catalyst for change, we become more agile and better equipped to navigate uncertainty. Another key lesson of failure is the value of self-awareness. Failure encourages us to look inward and ask difficult questions. What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? This process of self-reflection is critical for growth because it helps us to understand our strengths and weaknesses more deeply. It also fosters a sense of accountability as we take ownership of our actions and their outcomes. This self-awareness not only helps us to grow as individuals, but also enhances our ability to lead and inspire others. Failure also has a way of revealing what truly matters to us. When we fail, we are often forced to confront the gap between our current reality and our aspirations. This confrontation can be painful, but it also serves as a powerful motivator. It reminds us of why we started in the first place and what we are working toward. In this way, failure can reignite our passion and purpose, giving us the energy and focus needed to pursue our goals with renewed determination. The impact of failure extends beyond the individual. It also influences the teams and organizations we are a part of. When leaders embrace failure as a catalyst for growth, they set an example for others to do the same. This creates a culture where mistakes are not feared, but seen as opportunities for learning and improvement. In such an environment, people feel empowered to take risks, experiment, and innovate, knowing that their failures will be met with support and understanding rather than criticism or blame. This culture of psychological safety is essential for fostering creativity and collaboration, which are key drivers of success. Failure also teaches us the importance of perseverance. Success is rarely achieved on the first try. It is the result of repeated efforts, each building on the lessons learned from previous attempts. Failure reminds us that the path to success is often non-linear, and that setbacks are not a sign to give up, but a call to keep going. This perseverance is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who abandon them. It is a testament to the power of persistence and the belief that every step forward, no matter how small, brings us closer to our aspirations. Finally, failure offers us the chance to redefine our relationship with fear. Fear of failure is one of the most common barriers to growth, holding us back from taking risks and pursuing our dreams. However, when we experience failure and realize that it is not the end of the world, we begin to see it in a different light. Failure becomes less of a threat and more of an opportunity, freeing us to take bold actions without being paralyzed by fear. This shift in mindset is transformative, allowing us to approach challenges with confidence and optimism. Embracing failure fosters resilience, adaptability, and innovation, creating an environment where risk-taking and learning from mistakes become pathways to success. The journey to achieving anything meaningful is rarely linear. It is often marked by challenges, missteps, and unforeseen obstacles. However, these setbacks are not merely disruptions. They are opportunities to build essential skills and mindsets that lead to greater success in the long run. Resilience, adaptability, and innovation are not innate traits. They are cultivated through experience, particularly in moments of failure. By embracing failure rather than avoiding it, individuals and teams can unlock their full potential. Resilience is one of the most critical attributes developed through failure. It is the ability to recover quickly from setbacks and continue moving forward with determination. When faced with failure, our initial reaction might be to feel defeated or disheartened. However, each failure presents an opportunity to strengthen our resolve. It forces us to confront adversity head-on, teaching us how to manage stress, maintain focus, and persevere despite challenges. Over time, this repeated exposure to difficulty builds mental toughness and emotional strength, enabling us to navigate future obstacles with greater confidence. The process of building resilience begins with a shift in mindset. Instead of viewing failure as a permanent state, we can see it as a temporary setback and a chance to learn. This perspective allows us to reframe negative experiences as valuable lessons that contribute to our growth. For example, when a project fails to meet expectations, it can be tempting to dwell on what went wrong. However, by analyzing the situation objectively, we can identify the root causes of the failure and take proactive steps to improve. This ability to extract meaning and direction from failure is a hallmark of resilient individuals and leaders. Adaptability is another key quality cultivated through failure. The world is constantly changing, and success often depends on our ability to respond effectively to new circumstances. Failure exposes areas where our current approaches are insufficient or outdated, prompting us to reassess our strategies and make necessary adjustments. This willingness to adapt is crucial in dynamic environments where rigid thinking can lead to stagnation. Failure teaches us that flexibility is not a compromise but a strength, allowing us to pivot when needed and stay aligned with our goals. In addition to fostering adaptability, failure encourages a culture of innovation. Innovation thrives in environments where experimentation and risk-taking are encouraged. However, these activities inherently involve the possibility of failure. When failure is stigmatized or punished, people become hesitant to explore new ideas or challenge the status quo. Conversely, when failure is embraced as a natural part of the learning process, it creates a safe space for creativity and bold thinking. This openness to experimentation leads to breakthroughs and advancements that might not have been possible otherwise. One of the most significant barriers to innovation is the fear of failure. This fear can prevent individuals and organizations from taking the risks necessary to achieve meaningful progress. By normalizing failure and recognizing its value, leaders can help dismantle this fear and encourage a more innovative mindset. For example, a leader who shares their own experiences with failure and the lessons they learned demonstrates that failure is not something to be feared, but embraced. Cool. This vulnerability fosters trust and inspires others to approach challenges with courage and curiosity. Failure also plays a vital role in refining and strengthening ideas. In many cases, the initial attempt at solving a problem or pursuing a goal may not yield the desired results. However, the insights gained from these early efforts often provide the foundation for future success. Each failure reveals gaps in our knowledge, weaknesses in our approach, or external factors we may not have considered. By iterating on these learnings, we can refine our strategies and develop solutions that are more effective and robust. The iterative nature of innovation highlights the importance of persistence in the face of failure. Success is rarely achieved on the first try, and setbacks are an inevitable part of the journey. Embracing failure as a stepping stone to progress allows us to maintain momentum and continue striving for our goals. This perseverance not only leads to better outcomes, but also builds a sense of pride and accomplishment in overcoming adversity. It reinforces the belief that failure is not the opposite of success, but an integral part of the process. In organizations, creating an environment that embraces failure requires intentional effort from leaders. Leaders set the tone for how failure is perceived and handled within a team. When leaders model a positive attitude toward failure, they signal that it is acceptable to take risks and make mistakes. This attitude encourages team members to be more innovative and proactive, knowing that their efforts will be supported even if the outcome is not perfect. Additionally, leaders who provide constructive feedback and focus on solutions rather than blame help create a culture where learning from failure is prioritized. The relationship between failure and collaboration is also worth noting. When failure is embraced as a shared experience rather than an individual shortcoming, it fosters a sense of unity and teamwork. People are more likely to support one another, share ideas, and collaborate on solutions when they feel safe to acknowledge their mistakes. This collective approach to overcoming challenges strengthens relationships and builds a sense of trust and camaraderie within the team. On a personal level, embracing failure can lead to profound self-discovery and growth. It forces us to confront our fears, insecurities, and limitations, helping us to better understand ourselves and our motivations. This self-awareness is essential for personal development, as it allows us to identify areas for improvement and take deliberate steps toward growth. It also empowers us to approach future challenges with greater clarity and confidence, knowing that we have the resilience and adaptability to navigate whatever comes our way. Failure also teaches us the importance of celebrating progress, no matter how small. In the pursuit of ambitious goals, it can be easy to focus solely on the end result and overlook the incremental steps that lead to success. Failure reminds us to appreciate the journey and recognize the value of each attempt, even if it does not lead to immediate success. This perspective encourages a growth mindset, where continuous learning and improvement are prioritized over perfection. When failure is embraced as a teacher, it transforms how we approach challenges and opportunities. It shifts our focus from avoiding mistakes to seeking growth, from fearing risks to embracing possibilities, and from clinging to the familiar to exploring the unknown. This mindset not only enhances our individual potential, but also creates a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same. Vulnerability in acknowledging failure strengthens trust, adaptability, and innovation, empowering teams to collaborate, a powerful force for positive change, shaping acknowledging our lives failure is often seen as a profound and meaningful, but in reality, it is a profound act of courage and authenticity. Vulnerability is a key ingredient in building trust, and when leaders openly admit their mistakes, they create an environment where others feel safe to do the same. This openness fosters a culture of psychological safety, which is essential for innovation, collaboration, and growth. When individuals and teams know they can share their failures without fear of judgment or retaliation, they become more willing to take risks, experiment with new ideas, and learn from their experiences. Trust is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, whether it's between colleagues, within teams, or with customers. When leaders demonstrate vulnerability by acknowledging their failures, they humanize themselves, showing that they are not infallible but are willing to grow and improve. This authenticity resonates with others, breaking down barriers and encouraging open communication. When people see that their leaders are honest about their own shortcomings, they are more likely to feel comfortable sharing their own challenges and seeking help when needed. This creates a sense of mutual respect and understanding, which strengthens the bonds within a team and leads to better collaboration and problem solving. Acknowledging failure also demonstrates accountability, which is a critical component of effective leadership. When a leader takes responsibility for their mistakes, it sets a powerful example for others to follow. It shows that accountability is not about assigning blame, but about owning one's actions and learning from them. This mindset shifts the focus from fault-finding to solution-building, which is far more productive and empowering. It encourages everyone on the team to take ownership of their work and approach challenges with a growth-oriented perspective. This shared commitment to accountability fosters a sense of unity and purpose as everyone works together toward common goals. When vulnerability is embraced as a strength, it opens the door to deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who are authentic and relatable, and admitting failure is one of the most genuine ways to connect with others. It breaks down the illusion of perfection and creates space for empathy and understanding. This connection is particularly important in leadership, where the ability to inspire and motivate others depends on building trust and rapport. By showing vulnerability, leaders demonstrate that they are willing to take risks and be honest about their journey, which inspires others to do the same. Vulnerability also has a profound impact on team dynamics. When team members see their leaders openly acknowledging failure, it sets the tone for how mistakes are perceived and handled within the group. Instead of viewing failure as something to be hidden or feared, it becomes an opportunity for collective learning and growth. This shift in perspective encourages open dialogue and honest feedback, which are essential for effective collaboration. Teams that embrace vulnerability are more likely to share ideas, challenge assumptions, and work together to find innovative solutions to complex problems. This collaborative spirit not only enhances performance, but also creates a positive and supportive work environment. One of the most significant benefits of embracing vulnerability is the ability to foster a culture of experimentation and creativity. Innovation requires taking risks, and taking risks inherently involves the possibility of failure. When leaders and teams view failure as a natural and valuable part of the creative process, they become more willing to push boundaries and explore new possibilities. This willingness to experiment leads to breakthroughs and advancements that might not have been possible in a culture that stigmatizes failure. Vulnerability and acknowledging failure encourages teams to embrace the unknown, take calculated risks, and learn from their experiences, ultimately driving innovation and progress. Psychological safety plays a crucial role in creating an environment where vulnerability is valued and failure is seen as an opportunity for growth. Psychological safety is the belief that one can speak up, share ideas, and take risks without fear of judgment or negative consequences. When leaders model vulnerability by admitting their own failures, they signal to their teams that it is safe to do the same. This creates a supportive atmosphere where everyone feels empowered to contribute their perspectives and challenge the status quo. Psychological safety not only enhances creativity and collaboration, but also strengthens the team's resilience and adaptability in the face of challenges. Acknowledging failure also provides valuable opportunities for feedback and learning. When leaders and teams are open about their mistakes, they create a platform for constructive dialogue and reflection. This feedback loop is essential for identifying areas for improvement and implementing changes that lead to better outcomes. And vulnerability in discussing failure demonstrates a commitment to continuous learning and growth, which inspires others to adopt the same mindset. It reinforces the idea that failure is not an endpoint but a stepping stone on the path to success, and that every setback brings with it valuable insights and lessons. The act of admitting failure requires humility, which is another important quality of effective leadership. Humility is the recognition that no one has all the answers and that everyone has room for growth. When leaders approach failure with humility, they demonstrate a willingness to learn from their mistakes and seek input from others. This openness not only strengthens trust, but also encourages collaboration and inclusivity. Humble leaders create a culture where diverse perspectives are valued, and everyone feels empowered to contribute their ideas and expertise. This diversity of thought enhances problem-solving and decision-making, leading to better outcomes for the team and organization. Vulnerability and acknowledging failure also has a ripple effect beyond the immediate team or organization. It sets a standard for how failure is perceived and handled in broader contexts, influencing the behavior and attitudes of others. When leaders demonstrate the courage to admit their mistakes and learn from them, they inspire others to do the same. This ripple effect can create a culture of vulnerability and authenticity that extends across organizations, industries, and communities. It reinforces the idea that failure is not something to be feared, but embraced as a valuable and necessary part of growth and success. Acknowledging failure as a leader also builds credibility and authenticity. People are more likely to trust and follow leaders who are honest about their journey and willing to share their challenges and lessons learned. This authenticity creates a sense of relatability and inspires others to take risks and strive for growth. Vulnerability in leadership demonstrates that failure is not a barrier to success, but a stepping stone to achieving one's full potential. It encourages others to view failure as a natural and valuable part of the journey, empowering them to approach challenges with confidence and resilience.